Sometimes the people who react the worst to your boundaries were the people who were benefiting the most. Okay? They put you in a box. I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but they put you in this box when they met you. And that's where you were supposed to stay because you were benefiting them. Maybe you were the friend who could give them rides. Maybe you were the friend who would tell them how pretty they are so they could be reminded that you were their emotional support. Maybe you were the friend who would loan them money. Maybe you were the friend who would do their hair for free. There was something that you were doing for them. And they had you in that box because it was benefiting them. They didn't have to pay for it. They didn't even have to reciprocate. But somewhere along the lines of that friendship, that relationship, you grew some common sense and you realized that they were using you. And you decided to have some self-respect and you canceled it. And you say, you know what? I'm not doing this no more. I'm not going to keep giving you rides. I'm not loaning you no more money. The answer is no. I am not going to be your emotional support pet because when I call you, when I have a problem, you're nowhere to be found. I'm not doing that shit no more. Well, you took yourself out of the box that they put you in. And they have a problem with that because if you're not going to stay in that box, well then why are we friends? Why am I associating myself with you? You're no longer a utility to me. And so now they got worse because you set boundaries. Listen, they want to be in control of the narrative because that's the box that they put you in. And they don't want you leaving the box. They don't want you getting some legs and getting up out that box. No, they want you to stay there because it benefits them. You guys, these people are codependent. There is something that they need from you because they can't get it from themselves. These are not your self-sufficient adults. These are not the adults who have healed themselves, who have worked on their traumas. These are the people who are very needy, okay? And they need you in that box so they can get the benefit from you that you're giving. And it's not always money. Believe it or not, sometimes people just really love your energy. Like, you are probably really blessed, okay? And I told you guys in another video, blessings isn't really materialistic things. I know that's what people think when they hear something like, oh, you're blessed, right? They're most of the time talking about something materialistic, but no, blessing is a feeling. Blessing, feeling good, being blessed means you feel really good about yourself. And so you're able to manifest, right? Because you are attracting what you want. That's a whole nother topic for a whole nother video. But the point I'm making is you have really good energy and some people don't have that, okay? They don't have that feeling of blessed. They look at the world as, very pessimistic. They're just negative. Maybe their life is chaotic. And so when they get around you, they get to experience that really good, feel good energy. They could be using you for that. And once you realize that you're not getting what you're giving and you decide to respect yourself and put it into it, they have a problem with it because you are moving yourself out of the box that they put you in for their life and for their benefits. But listen, you're not meant to stay in that box. You're supposed to grow, you're supposed to elevate, and you're supposed to remove people out of your life who aren't pouring into you. You don't want friends around you that you know how to celebrate, but they don't know how to celebrate you back. You don't want friends around you where you're always giving them compliments and telling them how amazing they are and boosting them up and they can't do that back. You don't want a friend around you where, you're there, you're her shoulder to cry on when she's going through stuff, but when you need a shoulder, she's not there. That's not the type of friendships you want. And you realized that things weren't being reciprocated. And you decided to have a backbone. You decided to have some self-respect. And you decided to remove yourself from that dynamic. And they have a problem with it. And instead of them self-reflecting and understanding why you're taking a step back, you're pulling your energy back, you're setting boundaries, instead of them self-reflecting and realizing where they went wrong in the friendship or in the dynamic, they're just going to shame, guilt, insult, and the need to be right. That's all they're going to do. Because they want to maintain control. Okay, they were controlling you because you were doing what they needed you to do. And now you're taking back that control. Don't ever confuse the nasty messages that they send to you when you cut them off. Don't ever confuse that with love, girl. That is not love. They are just trying to get control because you are removing the benefits that they had. Okay, so they got to feel like they got to get that control back. So they're going to start shaming you. They're going to start guilting you. They're going to start insulting you, and they damn sure ain't going to apologize. Don't ever think that they're going to apologize. They're not apologizing because they don't think they did anything wrong. That's most of the time, that's how they live their life. We tend to do a lot of projecting, okay? You project, I project, they project. Everybody's just projecting how they view the world. And so for you, because you are a very reciprocal person, because you are somebody who likes to give, because that's who you are, you assume that that's how other people operate. Girl, that's not how other people operate. Not everybody operates like you. Stop projecting. In their world, life is a transaction. What can they do for me without me having to give anything back in return? That's how they operate. So they don't see anything wrong with what they're doing. They don't see the world the way you see it. So they're not going to apologize. No one's going to apologize for something they don't think that they did wrong. That's just human nature. No one's apologizing. So you're looking for an apology, but they don't see anything wrong with the way they move through life. So therefore, there's nothing to apologize for. So don't ever expect an apology unless they self-reflect and really go to counseling, journal a little bit, start speaking their affirmations. They're not apologizing. They're not changing, okay? All they're going to do is just go find somebody else to use. But that's why they got so upset when you set those boundaries. But that doesn't mean you were wrong. Boundaries are in place to protect you from feeling anxious, from feeling resentment. That's a big one. A lot of times we feel resentful because we stayed too long. Then you get bitter. But if you had developed the self-respect sooner, or if you started, listening to your gut, because 9 times out of 10, your gut was telling you something, but you made the choice to ignore it. And so you stayed too long. So you get resentful, you get bitter. That's not a good place to be in, right? So your boundaries protect you from that. Your boundaries protect you from harm. You are not supposed to apologize for your boundaries, so don't. They're there to protect you, not them. But the people who truly value you, the people who are not using you, they're not going to shame, guilt, insult your boundaries. They're not going to yell at you because you set boundaries. They're just going to say, okay. It might be annoying. They might be like, oh, here she goes. But they're going to accept it because they still love you, right? And they're just going to move accordingly. It is what it is. But when they do give you that crazy reaction when you start setting your boundaries, it's information. It's to let you know what they really wanted. They're going to expose themselves. Listen to the insults. Don't hold on to them and, change the way you feel about yourself, but listen to what they're saying. Listen to what they're insulting. Most of the time they're telling you what it is that they're using you for. Whether it's validation, it could be money, an ego boost, it could be your energy, it could be your resources, maybe you're well connected, it could be a place to stay, it could be sex. It's something that they're using you for. And 9 times out of 10, you're going to get that answer in them insults. You're going to get them answers in them insults when they're mad. Not that you might not get them always in the subtle insults, but the ones where they're mad because you done took your power back, they telling you what they're using you for. So listen, it's information and move accordingly. And when I say move accordingly, it means slice and dice. Listen, you've worked way too hard to let people take from you. They got to do for themselves. These are grown-ass adults we're talking about. These are not children, okay? These are grown-ass adults that we're talking about. They're either... I want to just stress the importance of it's information, and it's not something to feel bad about. Because again, I told y'all in another video, they do this to everybody, okay? If they're not taking from you, they're just going to take from somebody else. This is just how they move through life. But it's information because... they're either going to, someone who truly loves you, They're just going to adjust, like I said. But if you're unsure if someone was in your life to use you or to love you, if they just disappear, if they ghost you, you got your answer. They were using you, and your boundaries just exposed it. Just exposed it. And don't beat yourself up and say, oh, how could I be so stupid? Because I've done that. I've done that. Like, you just be like, dang, like, I really got played. But you didn't get played. You really didn't. Because your life is going to keep flourishing. You're going to keep being that person who's getting stuff done, getting to the next level, bettering yourself every single day. You're going to get more beautiful. You're going to get more fit. You're going to get more financially stable. Like, your life just keeps elevating because you don't operate in the world like that. You're not out here trying to get people. So your life is going to elevate. 9 times out of 10, these people that we talking about who got a problem with your boundaries and want to shame, insult, guilt, their life is on the decline. And 9 times out of 10, 10 years from now, if you were to look back and see what they doing, the same thing. They doing the same thing. Probably 10 times worse, but they still using people. They still not shit, okay? So don't feel bad. It happens to everybody, but the beauty in it is you recognized your worth. Now you know who you are, and now you know what you tolerate and what you not, and now you know what you don't want in a friendship, what you don't want in a relationship. If it wasn't clear before, it's clear now. Bye, you guys.